Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is just after 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's begin with the overall futures. I checked the headlines earlier, and shockingly, not much in terms of news. I would have heard, I expected to hear something out of Supreme Court. Nothing. Very quiet on the Western Front. All right, let's begin with the U.S. dollar. Dollar is tanking yet again. We're just barely holding on to support at the 90.70 mark. Mark that down in your books, 90.70 on the Dixie. We break that support level. We're probably heading down to an 80 handle on the Dixie. The closer they come to this skinny deal of stimulus, the more pressure you're going to see on the dollar. Remember, 21% of all dollars in circulation right here, right now, were created in this grand year of 2020. Good morning, Sam. How goes things in Italy? Gold down, surprisingly down. I have covered calls on the GDXJ. They're right at the money right now. So hopefully I can close those out this morning. Let's see if GDXJ has any price action. It's down with a 52 handle. Good for me. Very, very nice. If it holds up, could rally back, which is fine. I was very close to closing out the 53 covered calls set to expire this coming Friday, but I held off because there was way too much value. The options were still very overvalued, and I held off, which may be, going by what we're looking at right now, meaning a pullback this morning slightly on the GDXJ. Let's check out silver, which had an amazing week last week. Down, it's consolidating. Nat gas. Excuse me. Why am I on a 1 hour chart? Let's go to a 4 hour chart. Nat gas is consolidated. I think we're going to have a rip on Nat gas. It's broken out on a 4 hour time frame. As a matter of fact, we broke out, pulled back, retested. Now what we're looking for here is a continuation move higher on Nat gas. Good. We're not long of it, but it's certainly an interesting trade. You do have Nat gas inventories coming out tomorrow. Oh, you're going to get a third wave in Italy? Great. Unbelievable, my friend. Sorry to hear. Well, we'll get it here. Going to equities. NASDAQ flat. You know, I did market wrap last night, and the volume was horrible, especially on the Qs. Horrible. And you're seeing that across the equity spectrum. The Russell 2000 continues to rip. I get the feeling that when they pass this stimulus package, you're going to get a sell the news event. The only reason why we're moving up right here, right now, is because of the stimulus bill. It's crazy. They're locking down their country. My God, we're at risk of losing the Senate. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's all so crazy. I keep hammering away with members on this. You know, the markets were rallying immediately after the election. As a matter of fact, a day or two before the election, in anticipation of a big fat stimulus deal with a number of 1.8, maybe $2 trillion. That's what Trump was ready to agree to, but Pelosi backed away. Now she's getting less than $1 trillion, and they're still pumping this market up higher. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not enough. Not that I'm saying it's right. Not that I want more. S&P 500. We're up nearly a quarter percentage point, holding gains. Yeah, I saw that too, Sam. Tips. Here's the real story that nobody's talking about. And that's that Treasury inflation protected securities are at all-time highs. Yeah, we're gonna get a CPI number come out tomorrow, meaning consumer price index come out tomorrow saying, oh, there's no inflation. Don't worry about it. Then why are the tips going up? Thank God for coffee. I got to tell you. All right, what else do we want to take a look? Oh, Bitcoin. Bitcoin get taking a rest here. A bit of a rest, as they say. Down 4%. $755. I'm not long of Bitcoin. I'm always worried about the government thinking that Bitcoin is a competitor to the U.S. dollar and somehow banning it or intervening and regulating. I'm just worried. Our government, if nothing else, has been proven to show that it hates competition. The VIX getting whacked, but it doesn't appear as though we're putting in lower lows this new 4-hour candle. All right, let's take a look at some chart requests. What do I have in the numbers area? Today's jobs data, today's economic data. You have job openings, not much. Wholesale inventories. Tomorrow is when things really get steamy, and that's when you get initial jobless claims, and then we get the CPI index. And I love this. The federal budget. What budget? We don't have a budget. We have continuing resolutions. What did you? It's insanity. It's all so crazy. CPI, fake. Fed budget, doesn't matter. These numbers mean nothing. Very sad. All right, what else do we have here from? All right, so Jonathan wants Bitcoin. All right, so we already went over it on a 4-hour chart. Let's go over it on stockcharts.com. This is a live chart. I believe it is live. Yes, it is live. And we are down on the week, outside week. We're very extended. Now, there should be no great shock that we're getting a pullback this week. Now, where do we think it's going? I think we could come down here to 16,220 on Bitcoin. It's a big drop, but keep in mind that it's come a long way very, very quickly, and it's extremely volatile. Daily chart. Here's your lower highs. This is a big tell. Look at this. We pulled back here in late November, rallied. We even put in a new higher high on price. Yeah, look at the excuse me. You look at the, well, yeah. We could use the RSI and the Stokes. Look at both. Putting in lower highs, double top on Stokes, lower highs on RSI, and now we're breaking down to new lower lows. So it looks as though there's more downside to go here. We may get some support at 17,423, but ultimately it's down here with a 16 handle where I think we'll find support. So no rush here. NEO. All right, so monthly time frame, no new monthly high. But we are off the lows of the month. Weekly chart. Inside week so far. This is a tough one to read. When you have inside bars, it's hard to read where we might be going because they can fade. So here's your trading range, 48.70 to 40.71. I don't see a reason to go buying it here. Maybe on a close above 48.70. Let's check out the daily chart. Yeah, we're right at resistance here. I don't see a reason to go buying it. I would either look for a breakout above resistance at 48.70 or a pullback to support at $41 per share. And I look to buy on a breakout or on a pullback. I just want to check Stokes really quick. Yeah, this is concerning. This is why I wanted to come over here. You know, rallies fade when you have Stokes trading down below the 50 mark. What happened yesterday? We rallied, but we also faded off the highs. I would need to see for these Stokes to get resolved. Meaning flattening out and hooking back up, ideally above the 50 mark. I see no compelling reason whatsoever to go buying NEO right now. Walmart for David. All right, so Walmart broke out monthly time frame. It's now pulling back and retesting support. On speculation that we're going to hold the support level, I think you could start nibbling on it. The key is you got to use a stop loss if we fail to hold this monthly support level at around 147.72, because a failure to close out the month above 147.72 would mark a breakout point failure or a bull trap. Weekly chart. And I'm using TrendSpider, folks. Link below, 35% off. Automated technical analysis. And if you want to see on a weekly time frame where that monthly support level is, all you need to do here, weekly chart. Now I'm going to overlay monthly support, and there you have it in dashed line. Very valuable. Now, I remember going over Walmart the other night, and seasonality is not wonderful this time of year. We'll come back to the weekly chart. December, not wonderful. Doesn't get that much better in January through February. March, different story. March is very strong. So, again, I said earlier you could use a monthly chart. You can use a weekly chart too. If we hold the support level, fine, great. You can nibble on the shares or hold the shares, but if we fail to hold the support level and we close down below it, well then, in all probability, we're going lower. So just be careful. Remember seasonality. Daily chart. Daily chart looks good. This is the same monthly support level on a daily chart now, and we broke out yesterday. Might we retest the rising moving average here? It's quite possible. This is a 20-period moving average, or we could retest monthly support yet again. I think those are good opportunities to open up or add to a position as long as you're using a stop loss right below this support level and keeping any losses very, very small. GLYC. I'm not familiar with that. That's for Chris. Gliometrics. Daily chart looks interesting. Monthly chart looks interesting. Very interesting. All right, so monthly chart. Here's no automated trend lines. Here are your automated trend lines. Boom. Click of a button. So this is the value of them. Look at that. Beautiful W formation. And we broke out last month. No continuation move higher this month. Perhaps a pullback and a retest of support. Perhaps not. It's not mandatory. It's nice, but not mandatory. Weekly chart. We're in a ever-tightening triangle formation. Again, let's take this off. Automated trend lines, pop them back on. Huge time saver. So you're seeing topping action here. So just beware. You do have a bit of resistance above. And it goes back to August. Even before that, it acted as support back in July. Now it's acting as resistance. So I don't see a compelling reason to go buying right here, right now, perhaps on a breakout or on a pullback to support. But if you bought now, you'd be buying into a resistance level. So I don't see a compelling reason to go opening up a trade right now. Let's go to a daily chart. Maybe that'll sway me a bit. So daily support is right down at 358 per share. We closed out the day at 380. That would be an interesting point to nibble on some shares. This rising support level has been respected. So it looks interesting. I like the setup. I don't love where it's at relative to resistance right now, but longer term, looking at that monthly chart, it's looking pretty good. Let's see what we have in terms of seasonality. We only have data going back to 2014. And that's not what I wanted to do. We're up 86% of the time in the month of November, which is since passed. December up 14% of the times. So seasonality is not wonderful this time of year. So on a technical level and on a seasonality basis, no great reason to go getting aggressive right here, right now. Things begin to improve in January, especially into February, up 71% of the time since 2014. So that's my take. I like it longer term, though. All right. With that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a very profitable trading day, and I will talk to you soon. Be well.